Good morning, everybody. This is Toucan Dragon, and welcome back to Digimon Rearise. So you know what? I may be a few days late, but that's not gonna stop me. Today, we're gonna be talking about the new Digimon in the 100-hour banner. So right off the bat, I think this banner is pretty interesting. The 10% increase of getting a rainbow to appear is nice, and the Digimon in this banner are actually pretty good. But I think when it boils down to it, it all depends on what you need in your team. Currently we have 4 banners with pretty good Digimon in each. The Rearise banner is mostly for people who are just getting into the game, or for people like me who want to get a good healer. MetalSeadramon Power Mode and Armageddonmon for damage and dealing with those pesky Omegamons. And then we have this banner. I feel like this banner is mostly for tamers who have been in the game for quite a while. These Digimon are good, but I feel like they won't be that beneficial to new players than they will be for older players. The reason why I say this is because these Digimon are good, but in a team setting, than to oppose of being alone like Omegamon and Leopardmon Paladin mode. So let's get more into detail, shall we? So we'll start off our comparison with Leopardmon. So I chose Leopardmon Paladin mode and Ulforce due to the fact that, for one thing, Leopardmon wants to be like in Leopardmon Paladin mode. He wants to be a hard-hitting attacker. And the other thing is that Leopardmon has the 3rd highest tech stat in the game currently for Calm Megas. So Ulforce is here being, I don't remember if Ulforce is top 1 or he's the second one. It's between him and Megadramon. But regardless, Ulforce is one of the top 2 for the highest tech stat for Calm Mega. So that's my reasoning why they're here. But keep in mind too, as I'm going through this, Leopardmon Paladin mode is an ultra level Digimon. That's 1 tier higher than Mega. So keep that in mind as I'm going through the stats. So right off the bat, Leopardmon has HP stat at 6289, compared to Ulforce, who is also a Mega, has HP that's lower than him at 5294. Then comparing it to Leopardmon Paladin mode, of course, Leopardmon Paladin mode has highest HP between the two at 7554. So looking at just the HP stat, we have Leopardmon who can tank more hits than Ulforce, which isn't a big shocker, since Ulforce is pretty squishy. Next, going to the tech, we have Leopardmon at 3937, which is the 3rd highest tech for our Calm Mega in the game. Then we have Ulforce, who has the highest tech, who has a higher tech than he does at 4309, and Leopardmon Paladin mode at 4953. Then once we go to the defense, it gets a little bit more interesting. So Leopardmon's defense is at 1409, while Leopardmon Paladin mode is at 1406. So Leopardmon has at least 3 points higher in the defense stat than Leopardmon Paladin mode, who is, remember, an ultra level Digimon. Next we go to Ulforce, who has the lowest defense between the two of them at 1120. Again, Ulforce is your basic glass cannon. He'll do the damage, but he can't take it. And then go to the speed. The speed is 27 for Leopardmon. Leopardmon has 30, and Ulforce has 44. So Leopardmon, compared to the other two, has the lowest speed, but it's not a bad thing because his speed is average for most calm Digimon. So just looking at all their stats side by side, Leopardmon does have some bulk to him. Yes, he doesn't have a lot of HP like in Leopardmon Paladin mode, but his HP is higher than his fellow Royal Knight Ulforce, who's at 5294 and has a higher defense at 1409. So compared to a Royal Knight like Ulforce, who's also a Mega level Digimon, Leopardmon can take hits. Now, he's not as fast as Ulforce, but speed isn't really everything, is it? Next, let's look at their main skills. So, Leopardmon's main skill, he deals 280% damage to 3 enemies, and with those 3 enemies, he deals 3 times more damage when he crits. So it's kind of the same case here, like in Leopardmon Paladin mode. So, in Leopardmon here, he deals 330% damage to 3 enemies, So it's slightly more damage. Well, not slightly, it's actually quite significant. Like by close to 100 points more damage than Leopardmon. But he ignores block and deals 2.5 times more damage when he crits. And on top of that, he clears all, well not all, he clears those 3 enemies that he hits, power, tech, defense, and damage resistant buffs. While Leopardmon, his extra thing he does, he has a 40% chance to stun those 3 enemies. So Leopardmon is trying to be a pseudo Impelgemon in a way. He's dealing damage to the same amount of enemies. He's doing a high damage increase when he crits, and has a chance to stun. The only problem here is that he does not ignore block. And right now, there's a lot of Digimon who have block increase. You know, there's a lot of plugins that increase block, a lot of abilities that increase block, so there's a lot of block buffs out in the game right now. Well, always, there always has been, but with the release of new Digimon comes a release of more abilities that increase block. So, he is nice, main skill alone. That damage increase by 3 times is better than Impelgemon's 2.5 times. But again, Impelgemon ignores block and Leopardmon doesn't. But that stun does help a little bit. With that said, that's not all he brings to the table though. So looking at his sub-skill, he deals 260% damage to 2 enemies, and then he basically steals Craniamon's ability and gives it to calm allies. So he gives all calm allies evade for the next attack, and that's permanent. It doesn't go away within a few amount of turns. It's just there until they get hit, which is pretty good actually. It provides your calm Digimon with a good amount of defense, especially during calm week. So right now in Brave week, I've noticed a lot of Craniamons giving my enemies not a buff, but an evasion. And it does get annoying when I'm trying to get rid of evasions on enemies like Omegamon, Impelgemon, Palamode. It's annoying, because then we have this Craniamon who's giving everyone an evasion, well except Palamode because he's calm, but Omegamon, especially when I want him out, because he has more defense now, because of his damage limit and the evasion. So it becomes quite difficult. So now with Leopardmon out, paired with Impelgemon Palamode, will give him basically a 3rd evasion whenever his 2 evasions go down. Which I find that really useful, you know, especially right now with the rise of these strong Digimon like Omegamon. Well, Omegamon has been here, but him and Palamode, they become more annoying. I guess that's why Morganamon is here to kind of help deal with that. But even then, he can't help you with Impelgemon Palamode. So this Digimon here, the Leopardmon, basically makes Palamode more annoying. And I hate it, but I like it. Going to Impelgemon Palamode's sub-skill, he deals 30% damage to 2 enemies and give all allies a power damage resistant by 30%. And I just noticed I've been ignoring Old Force, so let's quickly go through Old Force. Old Force does 280% damage to 3 enemies, which is about the same amount the Digimon does. Reduces enemies buff by 1 turn, and increases his own tech by 50%. So again, Old Force is a glass cannon. He buffs himself, debuffs the enemy, and deals damage. And Old Force sub-skill, he deals 320% damage to 1 enemy, and lowers their defense by 40%. It's a single target. I don't like single targets too much, to be honest, in the Battle Park at least. In Underworld, I think single targets are okay. In Battle Park, I don't like them too much, but again, Old Force is pretty good still, though. His main skill makes him good in Battle Park, and so does his passive. But enough about Old Force. So Leopardmon's passive, which helps teams a lot. Basically, he reduces all enemies' power damage resistant and tech damage resistant by 30% forever, permanently. It's done as soon as he hits the field. It's down by 30%. So Leopardmon can be run in pure calm teams or in mixed teams with Brave. So if you want to run your Black Craniamon, which he covers calm and Brave, put Leopardmon in there with him. And he's a pretty decent attacker too, you know? So, yeah. From what I know, passive skills don't stack, I think. Yeah, I'm sure they don't stack, so in a way it kind of blocks off that Impelgimon's Paladin mode's tech damage resistant down for the enemy, but it does give a power damage resistant down as well for the enemy. So again, I feel like Leopardmon, for it to be very useful, needs to be run in teams with Calm and either Brave, Tenacious, or Power Deft units. I feel like that's the only way to use him in his full potential. The only problem I see with him, though, is just his main skill. It does do a good amount of damage, but only in a vacuum. Without the Ignore block, he's not doing as much as these other good Digimon that we have currently. So that's why I'm saying it's hard. If you're brand new, you're going to be pulling in Paladin mode banner first, and then the Rearise banner, because having both Paladin mode and Omegamon in a team is really good. And the Rearise banner, as you pull in 4 Omegamon, you could get all 4s, you could get those 2 good healers, Lilithmon and Mastamon. There's a lot of good Digimon in that banner for people who are just starting out. Now for this, it's good, but it's not necessary. So if you already have an established team and you feel like you need a slighter edge in the battle park or even in Underworld, then this banner can help you achieve that. With Digimon like Leopardmon, I keep mispronouncing his name, Leopardmon, Leopard, the leopard Digimon. God. With Digimon like him, yes, they can do a good amount of damage, but they can also provide support. And I feel like this lineup here with these new Digimon, they're mostly support. Even though their skills show they can attack and they can do some damage, they're mostly helping the team out. You know, and just the extra attack, like the Leopardmon's main skill, shows that he could stand alone and deal damage, but he's mostly here for support, and he's just a good support that can deal damage. That's my 2 cents on that matter, at least. Alright guys, so the next Digimon on our list is MetalSeadramon. So for MetalSeadramon, he is a calm Digimon, but the reason why I didn't pair him with Leopardmon is because I believe MetalSeadramon is more of a support than Leopardmon. Now I know I said before Leopardmon is a support in my eyes. Well, he's a really good attack and support, but I feel like MetalSeadramon can't deal as much damage as he can. He's mostly here to provide buffs, and to be honest, that's about it. MetalSeadramon is mostly here to provide buffs for the team as a whole, while Leopardmon is there to deal damage, but also give your team more survivability with the evade. So I chose to compare MetalSeadramon with Greymon and good Chubimon. Calm, of course, because it's all calm Digimon. Mostly because those 2 Digimon are supports in their own right. So looking at their stats, MetalSeadramon has 5316, while Greymon has 6133, and good Chubimon has 6860. So between the 3, good Chubimon beats it with a high HP. And to be honest, it kind of stays constant within that. So looking at the defense, MetalSeadramon's defense at 1390, Greymon's at 1409, and good Chubimon is at 1339. So not as high as Greymon, but good Chubimon does have some bulk to her, while Greymon comes in second place due to that a slightly higher defense, and MetalSeadramon comes in at the bottom. MetalSeadramon here, he is not any means a tank. I mean, like, calm Digimon aren't tanks in general, but he he can't take that many hits. He needs support. It's kind of funny that the support needs a support. But he does make up for it in his tech. His tech is at 3709, while Greymon's at 3131, and good Chubimon is at 3305. So MetalSeadramon is at first place in this list that we have right here. And looking at their speed, The speed is the same all across the board at 27, the average speed for Mega Digimon. Well, Megacom Digimon. So looking at all their stats in a whole, MetalSeadramon cannot take that many hits, but he can deal at least a decent amount of damage. So MetalSeadramon is a good example of what I said earlier, that this banner is mostly for people who already have established teams and need more of an edge to their teams. Because MetalSeadramon, he does provide good buffs for your calm Digimon, but he himself needs support, which let's go over right now. So looking at MetalSeadramon's main skill, he deals 208% damage to 3 enemies, he ignores enemy block. I wish Leopardmon had this in his main skill, but whatever. And he increases all calm allies' counter rate by 60%. Paired with Disscusion, this would be extremely good, as well as in Digimon Paladin mode, and even Leopardmon. With Digimon with high tech stats, who can hit hard already without using their skills, will benefit from this, and again, Disscusion will extremely benefit from this. Next, looking at his sub-skill, he deals 260% damage to 2 enemies, and reduces those enemies' defense by 40%, which is good. It's, I think, above average of a defense down that we usually have, which is 30%, I believe. So, 2 enemies, defense down by 40%. He increased allies' counter rate by 60, decreased 2 enemies' defense by 40, giving room for his allies to deal massive damage, paired with his passive skill, which increases all calm allies' crit rate by 60% permanent, and defense by 40% permanent. So he's basically a more specific Grand Craniamon, because Grand Craniamon increases defense for all allies by 20% permanently, while MetalSeadramon increases defense for all calm allies by 40% permanently. On top of that, increasing crit by 60% for all calm allies. Again, paired with Disscusion and Digimon Paladin mode and the Leopardmon, who all benefit from a crit boost, this is insane. And that defense up will help keep him alive even longer, but the only issue is we have to keep MetalSeadramon alive so this effect stays on the field. And that's why I'm saying this support needs a support. His defensive stats aren't that good, so paired with Leopardmon, actually, could help him out quite a bit because of that evade. If not, then maybe a Grand Craniamon, but I feel like that will slow your team down even more if you're worried about your speed. If not him, then maybe Digimon, because if he goes down, then Digimon can revive him and give him more HP. But I feel like that won't really solve the issue. I feel like with MetalSeadramon, he would need to be paired with a team that will be able to finish the enemy fast, and if not fast, be able to keep him alive long enough. So having healers and other Digimon that can increase defense will be beneficial. So Mastermon, Devoted Leopardmon, Grand Craniamon. Well, no, because, well, I wonder, because Grand Craniamon has technically a different passive, because all defense, increased defense for all allies by 20%, whereas MetalSeadramon increases calm allies defense by 40%. So they're two different passives, so in that regard, can they stack? If you guys know, let me know down in the comments, because I'm really curious, because they're two different passives, technically. So if they can stack, that would increase his defense by 60%. I'll give him enough bulk, at least by a little bit, to stay on the field long enough to finish your enemy. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys know. But other than that, let's say that doesn't work, right? Let's say that doesn't stack because they're two of the same passives. So if that doesn't work, then, like I said before, having Healer Digimon, Managemon, Mastermon, Devoted Leopardmon, and Leopardmon can help keep him alive long enough so he can deal more damage, because that crit rate for your calm allies with 60% is really good. So comparing him now to Greymon, who has, in his main skill, he deals 280% damage to 3 enemies, increase counter rate of all allies by 30%, and increase all tech resistant for all allies by 20%. So that counter attack rate for Greymon is not as high as MetalSeadramon, but Greymon does have the benefit of going more of a general sense than a specific sense like MetalSeadramon. MetalSeadramon will benefit more from being a team with pure calm Digimon, who can benefit fully from his effects, or Greymon benefits more in teams with mixed calm and brave Digimon. And then looking at good Trubimon, he deals 340% damage to 2 enemies, increase all calm allies defense by 25%, and has a 55% chance to shock 2 enemies for 2 turns. And then in his sub-skill, he deals 260% damage to 2 enemies, and lowers their crit rate by 30%. And again, his passive increase block rate for all calm allies by 20%, and increases their HP by 20%. Actually, now that I'm reading it, I think Trubimon, well, this calm Trubimon will be really good paired with MetalSeadramon, because he gives him essentially more bulk. Increases his HP by 20%, gives him more block, increased defense by 25%, on top of MetalSeadramon's own passive skill. So I think a really good pairing will be these 2 Digimon, to be honest. But yeah, so this is why I'm saying that these Digimon are good, but they need support. Without the support, then they can't get that far. Now, Leopardmon could probably stand more on his own than MetalSeadramon, but MetalSeadramon is the one that needs all the support he can get. And to be honest, he is good. If I got him, I would run him in my team, but I don't think I'll pull as much in this matter. I might pull. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I got 2 days left as of recording this video. But yeah, MetalSeadramon is really good. He just needs support from his team. Emotional and physical support. Like we all do. Lastly, guys, we are finally on Craniamon. Tenacious version, I guess. Whatever. I chose to compare him with Impojimon Fighting Mode and with Quagamon. So I chose Quagamon due to the fact that Craniamon wants to get everyone's attention like what Quagamon does. And he also has a single target that does massive damage. And Fighting Mode's here because, well, stat-wise. And Fighting Mode is actually pretty good attacking Tenacious Digimon. And Craniamon is actually a pretty good attacking Tenacious Digimon as well. But the only problem he has, though, is he's single target. But we'll get in that in a second. Looking at their HP, Craniamon's at 6860, Impojimon's at 7997, and Quagamon is at 8981. So, of course, Quagamon takes it by a lot, by over 1,000 points on Craniamon, and Fighting Mode is on second place. Again, over 1,000 points on Craniamon, and Craniamon's the last at 6860. Next, we go to their defense, which Craniamon actually beats them both at 1824 with a pretty good defense for Tenacious. Next, we have Fighting Mode at 1339, and we have Quagamon at 1359. So, Quagamon has more bulk than Fighting Mode, but does not have as much than Craniamon, but does have enough HP to tank hits. So, it's actually pretty interesting. Going to the speed's at average of 22. So, overall, Craniamon wants to take hits. He wants to get everyone's attention. His HP is a lackluster, but his defense is pretty high. Now, the thing about Craniamon is that he can be really good, and he can do his job really well. The only issue is, you need to be really committed to him. What I mean by that is that you better be prepared to max him out completely in skill level, in his stats through Awakening, and get his full set of plugins. Once you make that commitment to get all those 3 things set and done, this Digimon can do a lot of things for you. He'll basically be your knight. But let's go more into detail on his skills. So looking at his skills, he deals 460% damage to one enemy. But in doing so, he increases his own counterattack rate by 40% for 2 turns, and basically gets all enemies' attention on himself for 3 attacks. And when he gets hit with those 3 attacks, at skill level 1, he reduces those enemies' hits by 50%, and skill level 10 reduces it by 70%. So you want to get him skill level 10. Next, going through his sub-skill, he deals 210% damage to 3 enemies, and has a 40% chance to apply blind to those 3 enemies. So that's essentially what he's trying to do here. What he's trying to do, he is hitting one enemy, which is fine, but the effect that happens after that affects all enemies as a whole, which is pretty good. Increases his own counterattack rate by 40%, and all other enemies have to hit him. But once you pair that with the blind, then those enemies are going to have a difficult time hitting him, which means he's getting all the attention, giving your allies a chance to fight back. And on top of that, with his passive, 40% up to his own block rate, and that random protect against freezing. It's random. I don't know why it's there. It's not really a problem right now, but hey, we'll take it. But yeah, he's pretty good. But again, you need to be really committed to max him out. You can't just half-ass this Digimon. You can't just be like, okay, max skill level, okay, I'm done. No, you gotta go max skill level, max awakening, and get full set of plugins. The plugins will help him a lot because of his low HP. It'll compensate for that with his high defense. Oh my god, he'll take a lot of hits. Especially if you max out his awakening, his stats will increase even further. And skill level 10, he'll be able to reduce damage taken by 70% instead of 50. And of course, deal more damage with a single hit and his sub skill. But yeah, Craniamon is good. Just, if you want this banner because of him, then please, please, please max him out. You won't regret it if you do, because I think he's really good, but he needs that commitment, and me personally, I don't think I'll be that committed to do that for him. Especially with the amount of luck I have in the freaking underworld, I can't get any of those freaking chips for the awakening. It pisses me off. So yeah, if you're really committed and you play underworld a lot, then yeah, max him out. He'll take you places. Now comparing him with Leopardmon fighting mode, which I've been ignoring the other guys, but oh well. Fighting mode deals 34% damage to 2 enemies. He deals damage ignoring limiter, and again focuses more on Omegamon. Even though he ignores limiter, he decreases it by 1, and buffs his own counter rate by 50%. His sub skill deals damage to 3 enemies, and increase all calm allies crit rate by 30%. Craniamon, who's kind of the same as Craniamon, but Craniamon is so much better, deals damage to 1 enemy, same amount as Craniamon, 460% damage, increase defense by 50%, and increase block rate by 50% for himself. In a sub-skill, he draws enemies' attention for 2 turns, and passive, increase all allies' defense by 20%, which is always going to be good. Unless, well, we already saw him kind of be replaced in calm teams with MetalSeadramon, but as of right now, we don't have any other Digimon that can affect that for Brave, so Craniamon it is until we get that kind of Digimon. But anyways guys, now I know your thoughts. What do you guys think about this new banner? Do you agree with what I've been saying, that these Digimon are good but need support, or do you think they can stand fine on their own? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please do me a favor, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, then you should subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I post more videos, which I promise I'll be doing more often. I'm sorry, work is hell. I know it's no excuse, but that's my excuse. I promise I'll be better. I know it's I've been saying that a lot, but I promise. It's not an empty promise. I promise it's not an empty promise. This has been Toucan Dragon, and if I can, you can too. Bye guys.